You mentioned some daily cups and some matchmaking. That is also something, a topic that people bring up once they want to ask you a question. Is the new game going to have some sort of integrated matchmaking system, or what can we know about a potential matchmaking system?
Okay. At this release, we don't look at bringing something special about matchmaking.
Mm.
It's somehow it's one of the chapter that we can improve in Trackmania. I've seen that in your interview, very interesting question, like to Carl, what could make Trackmania popular? And then he says it's more like if people arrive and they lose, then they stop to play.
Mm.
For example, we saw a streamer yesterday, and we put him against the top of the world instantly, and so there is somehow it can be discouraging. It can be like harsh, because to be against people that play since 3 years and you play only since 3 minutes,
Yeah.
it's not totally fair somehow. So we have to work on, and I'm always sensible about that. I always repeat inside the studio, be careful, don't put the world record in front of everybody, don't put the world ghost in front of everybody. This is one of the reasons it's all the record are locked for the club edition, because I don't want people like to download the world record and then to say I'll never be able to take that first turn ever as good as him, which is maybe wrong, maybe with 3 years, but not in 1 month. But people, they don't project to 3 years. It's like if I play a match against a Federer and I think, hey, I'm going to play tennis, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm talking not about tennis today, but so yes, it's important what we can do for the free, because the free edition is kind of key about that. Is how people, they get comfortable inside the game. And here, without even having to change a lot of things in the game, we can do something, because when people, they go online, we decide on which server they go. So probably we can have some sort of a decision. And because you can have maybe 100 people on a server, it's less of a problem. It's like battle royale games, because people, they can accept that they are number 7 or number 8, or depending on the randomness of who arrive at that moment on the server, they will then get a better rank than another. So it's not kind of an issue on a 100 people server, kind of free, because the world champion are not going to stick on the live server of the summer campaign, obviously. So I think it's not that bad at the beginning. For the solo, I think we need to improve these options where you play against the world. We discussed with Softy yesterday, and I suggested, because now the function is that when you're in the top 10, we select some people from the top 10. So if you are 8, we will take first, second, 4, 6, this kind of stuff. And when you are in the top 100, let's say 65, we take 10, 20, 30, 50, and then we put it on the server. But between the 10s and the 67, maybe there's too huge gap. So what I gave as advice is just like to take the 2 that are above. So if you are 67, it will be like the 60 and the 50. And also to watch at their time and see if there's not too much of a gap. And by doing this kind of stuff, I think the welcoming of a free player and the progression will be much more enjoyable, because we will even take 2 people that are behind you, because it's not because they are behind you in final time that they have not made something interesting in the track at first turn or at one jump, this kind of stuff that you will be able to learn about. So it's more like learn with your buddies of the same level, instead of being crushed by the top of the world. So we need to address that as a first priority for the free edition. But the matchmaking, that you can say, I arrive and I want just to play a match at my level against 3 people of the same level, it's more like of a chapter as well. It's something that we will see the priorities and go from there.